Hello, I'm Charlie Roadman, Austin criminal defense attorney, and I'm here with my law partner, Mary Ann Espiritu, because I had a lot of questions for Mary Ann, because some of these I really don't know the answer to. We've been partners for about a year and a half, is that
Year and a
right?
half, yeah.
Okay, and I did a little podcast earlier about how I became an attorney, and then as soon as I was done with that, I said, you know what, I need to ask that to Mary Ann. So can you sort of tell me about your path?
Yes, I can. So I didn't know that I wanted to be a lawyer. Actually, I didn't know what I wanted to be. I went to the University of Texas here in Austin, and I just kind of took classes. And this doesn't make me sound that great, but this was 30 years ago, so it's okay. And I was really struggling with what I wanted to be. My dad is a physician, and I thought that's what I needed to be. But finally, my dad sat me down and he said, don't get hung up on what your title is, doctor or engineer. Don't get hung up on that. Just ask yourself what kind of person you want to be when you grow up, and then the jobs will follow, because the title could change a lot of, many times. And so I had a rough idea of what I wanted. I wanted to idealistically, I wanted to make the world better. I wanted to help people. And so I did come up with this mantra that I want to be able to make anyone who has a relationship with me, whether it's a business relationship or a friendship or a romantic partner, I want their life to be better because of me. And so I graduated with a sociology degree, major in sociology, minor in English, and started looking for jobs. I landed a job that I think I was supposed to ask people if they wanted fries with that. And so back to the drawing board again with my dad, my hero, my mentor, my cheerleader. And he said, I think you're going to have to go to graduate school. And so I took some, courses to prep for the GRE and for the LSAT. And I did better on the LSAT, so I went to law school.
Well, so did you? What was your feelings about law or lawyering, or had you had any experience with lawyers? Do you have any family members that were lawyers, or?
No family members that have been through law school, no lawyers. At the time, had not been exposed to any litigation. Maybe a traffic ticket, but even even then, I think I had not stepped foot in a courtroom. So, no, not really.
And so the LSAT was just, as you're looking at all the graduate programs, it just said you thought maybe that would be one?
Right. And at the time, I did have an interest in environmental law. And I thought that maybe I could make the world better by going into that. So
Okay.
that was the rough idea of, like a 24-year-old that didn't really know what I wanted to do.
Right. So my dad was a physician as well, and the only time law or lawyers came up in our house was when my dad was cursing them, because they would frequently tell him that whatever plan he had for the hospital that had to go through all these obstacles, and my dad just wanted what his plan to implement right away, and
Yeah.
so it was actually mine is my dad kind of frowned, but he's happy now.
Oh, that's
But
good.
okay, so your dad was physician. Now, so you just take the LSAT, right? The test to get
Take the
into law
LSAT.
school, and then what
then-
happened after that?
And then I went to school up north. It was a financial decision of sorts. I do have relatives that live up there, and for my first year, they offered that I could stay with them. and save some money. And so I was, up in Ohio, and that's where I graduated from law school, University of Toledo, Ohio.
Okay. And then did you come right
And I
back?
came right back. Yeah. Well, no, actually, I did spend some time in Seattle. I worked in a corporate office, and then I came back.
What were you doing in the corporate office?
I was doing franchise contracts.
Okay.
Yeah. Just kind of just fell into that. I wanted to live in Seattle, and I just took the first legal job that I could.
What franchise?
It doesn't exist any longer, but it's called SureGuard Storage Company. If I remember correctly, public storage ended up buying them.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And I know that SureGuard doesn't exist. I don't even know if public storage still exists. It might.
Right.
Yeah.
So, okay. So then what?
So then I come back and I work for another corporation right away. It's Schlotsky's, local company here, and I'm in their franchise department as well. And then I'm studying for the bar here in Texas, and then after I pass the bar, I work for DPS, the Texas Department of Public Safety, and I was there until 2006.
Okay. And we would have met back then, right?
We did, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Would we have had cases
We would have, yeah.
Okay. So for DPS, you're doing the driver's license hearings.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. For DWI, there are actually two parts, as you know. There is the criminal case, and then there's the potential license suspension from the DPS. And but you are entitled to a hearing to challenge that suspension from the DPS, and those are the hearings that I did.
Okay. And then, so you did that for how many years?
Five.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then is that when you just started your own office, right?
No, so then I went to work for a criminal defense firm, Chris Dorvant.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And then I worked for him for 4 years, and then I started my own practice.
Okay.
Yeah.
What made you start your own practice?
Oh, just the economy, I think. Yeah, I was. It was 2010, and a lot of people were laying off. So I was laid off from there because of the economy, and I started my own practice, thinking though that I would get a state job, and so I was applying and interviewing. But as I was doing that, the business started picking up, and pretty soon I was not interested in applying to state jobs.
Right. I have a memory of sitting on a porch swing in front of Joe Turner's office.
Mm-hmm.
He had an event, and we were sitting there, and I think that was when you were telling me you were starting your own office.
I have that same memory.
Yeah?
Yes. Yes.
Well, it was just the two of us on the porch swing.
Yeah.
But-
And you were saying how you're tired of people being arrested for marijuana.
Uh-huh.
And now look, we almost are there.
We are very close to there.
We're very close, yeah.
At least in this county.
Exactly.
But, well, good. Well, I mean, so you've been on the defense side for 15 years now?
Mm-hmm. Since 2010, so this is my 16th year.
Okay. And then you've done some pretty difficult education around the blood process.
Yes, I did. I have gone to gas chromatography school up in Chicago. Axion Laboratories trained me to use the gas chromatograph and to troubleshoot any problems. And we did a blood test from start to finish. So I know where contamination could happen. I know where the instrument could malfunction and give false readings. And so I went to that class. I went twice because, lawyers, we don't really like science. So I wanted to make sure that it took. And so I ended up going to Chicago twice, going through the course twice, just to make sure.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
And now the next phase?
The next phase, I am an official candidate for Travis County Court at Law number 5. That's Judge Hohengarten's court. She is retiring in 2022, and so I am running for her bench to be her replacement.
Oh, great. Well, I know you'll make a wonderful judge. And
Thanks,
so
Charlie.
it was a pleasure.
Yeah.